What's going on, guys? Bengal King here, coming back at you with another video today, rebuilding the New York Jets, a team that's done very, very poorly this year, and they have all the talent in the world. Their roster is very, very talented, maybe a bit top-heavy, but when you look at Le'Veon Bell, one of the best running backs in the league, Jamal Adams, certainly one of the best safeties in the league, injuries have hit them hard, to CJ Mosley really hasn't played much, if at all, this year, and Sam Darnold has, nothing in the way of weapons. And that's what we try to correct through this realistic rebuild. As you can tell from the thumbnail, oftentimes people ask me, it's like, how come you never use real draft classes? But if you've checked out any realistic rebuild on the channel, we've used a real 2020 NFL draft class the entire year. So definitely, be aware of that. I don't know, how that could be missed. But we're going to be rebuilding the Jets. If you're going to buy tickets for anything, probably not the Jets, because they have, 3 wins? But if you were to buy tickets for them, you'd make sure to use code Bengal on SeatGeek and get a $20 discount when you do so. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, so let's take a look at the healthy roster. We simmed right to week 13 by using the real-life roster. And when you check out the team, of course, offensive line is very, very bad. Definitely a position I would expect the Jets to target in the draft, because Kelvin Beachum not getting it done. What Alex Lewis, who was, I believe, cut by the Ravens. Maybe they didn't cut him. Maybe he was traded for a late pick. Don't quote me on it. It's not entirely relevant. He's not going to be lasting long. Ryan Khalil, who I want to say came out of retirement to start for the Jets, etc. Brian Winters, who's the only passable offensive lineman, and Chuma Edoga, who's actually a rookie, I believe at a USC, that looked pretty good in the Senior Bowl. Or was it the East-West Shrine game? I'm not sure. But one of those two games for incoming draft prospects. Chris Herndon is a very good tight end. Like him a lot. When he's healthy and not doing steroids, he's great. Now, I don't know if it was steroids or some type of PED, but Chris Herndon was on something. Substance abuse. I don't know what it is. They say PED use. Not too much specificity going on there, but that's okay. Ryan Griffin in there as well. When you get to the backfield, it gets a little bit better with Le'Veon Bell. Superstar X Factor 90 overall. That's great. Bilal Powell, Ty Montgomery in there. Sam Darnold is an interesting quarterback because he's very young. But even though this is realistic, we got to take it. This is Madden. We're still trying to win. He's only 22 years old. Star development. Those are quite good. Only a 72 overall. Doesn't exactly have great throw power or accuracy in general. Are we going to stick it out with him? Are we going to re-sign him when his contract expires? Are we going to stay away from drafting a quarterback? Those things remain to be seen. Robbie Anderson, Jamison Crowder. It's an okay receiving core. I think they definitely could use another weapon. Quincy Enunwa, Demaryius Thomas is in here. Josh Bellamy, Braxton Berrios. It's not a great receiving core. Robbie Anderson's purely a deep threat. Jamison Crowder is more like a slot specialist who's had some good games. When you look at the defense, it's definitely the strength of the team. They're really weak on the edge. Jordan Jenkins, Brandon Copeland, not that good for Madden, at least, and in general, it's not like they're getting a ton of pressure. Avery Williamson and CJ Mosley is definitely a good combo up the middle. Blake Cashman as well is a solid player. Maybe we'll switch to a 4-3 and move him outside. And then at safety, Jamal Adams, Marcus May. It's a decent combination. Could be worse by a lot. That's pretty good. Cornerback, not so good. Brian Poole, Tremaine Johnson is overpaid and terrible. I want to say this is Daryl Roberts. No, it's Maurice Kennedy. Yeah, Daryl Roberts, 28 already. He's only been in the league for 4 years. Just not that good. Defensive line, Henry Anderson's a good player. Steve McLennan's old, but decent. Nate Shepard is a high ceiling player, although he hasn't shown it quite yet. And then Quinnen Williams, beast out of Alabama. So we have some guys to build around. We need to improve on the edge, for sure, cornerback, and then offensively, it's the entire offensive line. It's wide receiver. It's potentially quarterback. So I guess we'll go ahead and simulate to the draft and see what we can do. I want to go ahead and load in the draft class first. So, of course, I do use my own draft class. It's 2020 NFL Draft Bengal. I'm pretty sure it's probably still the #1 file on all of Madden PS4. A common question I get is if I'm going to move it to Xbox or not, and no, I'm not going to do that because I don't have an Xbox, and I'm not going to go through and release every single stat because I don't even know them myself. I don't remember what they are. I made this a while ago, and I've updated it, somewhat often, about once a month or so. But I think it's on the Madden share as the #1 file. Here's the thing about it, is there's always an issue with the file sharing in general. So, I mean, whether or not you can actually get to it is a whole entirely different issue. EA needs to figure that stuff out for Madden 21 for sure. We simulated straight to the offseason, as I knew this was not going to be a playoff caliber team. Why waste our time? We would finish 6-10, which should set us up for a round of top 5 pick in the draft. Stats are irrelevant for the first year since so many of them are based on real life performance up to week 13. So there's not too much there. Robbie Anderson, 27 years old, 83 overall, star development. I'm going to let Robbie Anderson walk. I think the Jets tried to trade him. I don't know if anyone wanted him. There's really no one in here that I'd like to re-sign. Like, they're all old or bad or both. I mean, like, Brian Poole isn't particularly good. Robbie Anderson, not particularly good. And when players regress at 27, 28, 29 heavily, like, there's no room for growth there. They're not going to be on the team long term. And when Robbie Anderson's going to ask for probably, like, what, 7, 8 a year? 9 over 9 a year for the first year? There's no way. I mean, it makes no sense to do that. So we're just going to simulate to the offseason, see what we can do in free agency. And we have a lot of money. So hopefully should be able to bring in some big playmakers. Amari Cooper certainly would be one of them. Chris Jones would be another. I don't think we're going to go after Austin Hooper, but Kendall Fuller is certainly good, only 25 years old. Let's make some moves. Let's get after it. We have a lot of money. So I lowballed Amari Cooper and Kendall Fuller. Amari Cooper actually signs. That is quite the addition to the team. Now, that is definitely a good upgrade to Robbie Anderson. Younger, more talented, higher development trait. Everything you'd look for. That is an awesome move. Now, we still need to improve across the offensive line greatly, and I would love for Kendall Fuller to sign. I think that'd be a big addition to the team. Quinn Williams also has superstar development. We need cornerback really badly. We're also going to make a cut because some of these players should not be on the team still. We're going to free up space for the future, and that's going to start probably with Tremaine Johnson, whose contract is terrible, and I want him off the team as soon as possible, and as soon as possible is right now. Big penalty, I don't care. I don't care. We got to eat it now. It's going to be fine next year, but we had to eat it. I should probably cut Darryl Roberts as well, just because his contract's terrible. We're going to free $6 million by doing that. I know it seems like we're just cutting people to cut people, but some of these contracts are terrible. Henry Anderson's contract is way worse than I thought it was. We don't have a defensive tackle on the roster. Nathan Shepard's certainly going to move there. Henry Anderson's someone that we can't really move him right now at all. Chuma Edoga's fine. There's got to be someone on here. Jonathan Harrison's contract is not ideal. Jamison Crowder is getting way too much money, but that's probably someone we just let his contract ride out. Quincy Enunwa also has a bad contract for our purposes. Josh Bellamy is going to get cut. That probably should free up $3 million right away. Only a penalty of about $1 million. These are moves that needed to be made for the future because we need to free up cap space very, very badly if we're going to be successful long term, because we're going to get good players. We're going to need to bring them back. Kendall Fuller rejects the contract, which is fine. We're going to look at these fifth round options here or fifth round, what the hell? 5th year options, and Jamal Adams is certainly going to get picked up. So that's a big addition. We don't have to worry about his contract for another year or so. But we better cash in on the draft, man. We have a good pick. We need to improve this team in a huge way. All right, so we pick at number 10 overall. I forgot how many terrible teams there are. So 6 wins doesn't even get you a top 5 pick. It's crazy. It will probably later down the line, but we're just gonna go ahead and simulate to our pick as the Bengals. We don't know who they take, but Alex Leatherwood goes to the Raiders. Here we are at number 10. It's either probably the best tackle available or maybe the best edge rusher. Although Jeffrey Okudah is here. We're going to take Jeff Okudah. I think that's an excellent addition. We need cornerback terribly. Okudah is the man. Welcome to the Jets, Jeff Okudah. Jeff Jet. Jeffrey Jet. There's something there. But Jeff Okudah, 77 overall, number 9 in the class. Star or better development, 95 speed, good man, decent enough zone, decent enough press. He is a stud, 6'1", 200 pounds. That is going to be a huge addition to our secondary. All right, second round is the Bears snag Javon Kinlaw. That is a pretty good pick for the spot. And there are a number of pretty good players available, including like every running back that you want. DeAndre Swift, Travis Etienne, Chuba Hubbard, J.K. Dobbins. The only one who's not available is Jonathan Taylor. Now, we wouldn't take a running back anyway, clearly. I'm just, just thinking about it. Xavier McKinney's there. He could play cornerback maybe. Could take Marco Wilson perhaps. Kaylavon Chason is here, and that might end up being my pick. He's a really good player. Yeturgros Matos. That might be the guy. Good tackles, though. We need a tackle so badly. I think we're actually going to take a tackle. Let's go ahead and take Austin Jackson. Although Lucas Niang looks better in the class. We're going to take probably Austin Jackson. Welcome to the Jets. 71 overall, number 64 in the class. We took him at 42, so it is a bit of a reach for overall, but it's a position that we really needed to upgrade. He can definitely slide over to left tackle if we need him to. So let's go ahead and simulate now to the third round, where this is probably where I'd be inclined to take a receiver just because of the talent of the position. So there should be some really good receivers still available, like Justin Jefferson, like Tylan Wallace, like Antonio Gandy-Golden out of Liberty. Devontae Smith is here. Someone keeps asking me to draft Michael Pittman Jr. in my next rebuild, but it just doesn't make sense for where we usually draft. KJ Hill would be decent. That's a position I think we can wait on until our next third rounder. There's Zach Moss. We don't need a quarterback. Might go back to offensive line. TJ McCoy, Solomon Kindley. Most of the good tackles are off the board. Khalid Kareem we could take. Josh Uche, Khalid Hudson. Julian Okwara. Richard LeCount is good. Let's go ahead. Let's take Julian Okwara out of Notre Dame. He's a 69 overall. Nice. 102 in the class. We took him at 66. So definitely a bit of a reach again there. But good speed. Definitely someone we can develop. So how much is he going to play his rookie year? I'm not sure. But could be worse. 69 overall. I mean, it is nice. It's something we can work with. Will he ever be like a big starter for us? Probably not, but I wouldn't necessarily rule it out. We're going to take a guard here. John Simpson out of Clemson. He is also a 69 overall, number 88 in the class. We took him at 74, but another good addition on the offensive line. Run block isn't super high. More of a pass block specialist clearly in this class, but again, another decent addition to the team that we can work around, and it's plug and play right now. And now I think is where we would consider and heavily consider taking a receiver. Justin Jefferson is here. Donovan Peoples-Jones is here. Let's go ahead. Let's take KJ Hamler out of Penn State. Another 69 overall. Nice. It's all 69 overalls. That's the entire class. It's all a joke. We'll go with another offensive lineman here. Steven Gonzalez out of Penn State. He's only a 60 overall, so a little bit worse. For sure, probably not a player we can slide in and start right away, but it is the 5th round. What do you expect? We're going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the draft and start focusing up on 2020, which probably won't be all that successful, but it's a stepping stone. Rome wasn't built in a day, so we're going to work on it. Okay, so this is the team for Season 2. It's super terrible. Don't get me wrong, I'm fully aware how bad it is. We need another off season to really get some stuff done. Darnold's up to a 74, which great. Offensive line is still terrible. We need these players to develop. Receiving core is improved with Amari Cooper, but isn't particularly good. And then defensively, cornerbacks are still terrible, even with Jeff Okudah. Safety's great. Linebacking core, are they regressing? Avery Williamson definitely regressed. He regressed only a little bit. And then CJ Mosley definitely regressed a little bit too, right? Maybe not. But he's going to regress next year, so yay. Jeez. Yeah, we're in a really tough spot with this team. I need to sign a kicker and a punter. The only real positive you can take out of it, I guess, is that we're going to have some decent money. And we'll be able to do some things with that and maybe become a contender that way. But right now, it is not looking good at all. We'll sign Zane Gonzalez, and we'll look for a punter. And it looks like Gene Dangus is available, so we'll go ahead and sign him. Why not? Looks pretty good. I will simulate to the midseason mark. I really don't expect to be even okay. I don't even expect to be slightly below average. I think this team's going to be garbage. But you never know with the Madden Sim engine. It's so terrible that this could be like a 5-2 team at the midseason mark. So we will find out here momentarily. And we're 5-3. I mean, this... Yeah, dude. this team is definitely the best team in the AFC East. It isn't the Patriots. It isn't even the Bills. It's the Jets and then the Dolphins. I hate this game. So Avery Williamson's an impending free agent, as is Marcus May, who's already 27. I mean, I hate to look at someone who's 27 years old and say, oh, we just can't sign them, because that's not realistic to real life, but I don't think we can sign Marcus May. It's not that expensive of a contract, but his ceiling is just so low. I'd be comfortable with a 4-year deal where I take down the money, but he's not going to accept that, more than likely. He wants more salary. I mean, maybe we could work that. Avery Williamson's 28 and is going to go down to an 82 overall probably this season, and then an 80 the next season at 30, and then it's going to be real downhill from there, and we're going to be paying him a lot annually. The most I could give him is 2 years, and I'll up the money for that, but he's not going to want it. I would almost guarantee it. Improve the bonus and the length, coach. How about no? I like, it makes no sense. If the regression system is going to be as strong as it is, contracts should scale accordingly to their impending regression. Yet they do not, and it frustrates the hell out of me because it makes players like Avery Williamson unsignable, in my opinion. $9 million a year for someone that's going to be a 78 overall in the 3rd year of their contract. Like, get over yourself, game. I hate it. Sound like an insane person, but it's because I am, actually, so it does make sense. So we did not make the playoffs. Clearly, we finished 8-8. Great. I can't wait for that high pick. Gross. Jeff Okudah does have superstar development, at least. Might be superstar X Factor. I don't know. But Austin Jackson's up to a 74 overall. That's not terrible. And Jeff Okudah does have superstar X Factor, so that is proven to be a very, very good draft pick. And he made the Pro Bowl in his first season. Let's go ahead and see the stats on that and see exactly how that happened, because that is a super, super exciting development. And Sam Darnold actually had a really, really good year. We finished 7th in offensive yards, 12th in defensive yards. So this team was actually pretty good. Our Jets playbook's OP, top 10 in offensive points scored, and we allowed a lot of points defensively. Okay, maybe these playbooks are kind of nice. Who knows? Le'Veon Bell had a very good year. We had even Trenton Cannon score 6 touchdowns. Receiving, Jamison Crowder had a very good year. Quincy Enunwa, a good year. Amari Cooper had the worst year of all receivers, and he was our #1. I'm not really sure how that happened. Chris Herndon even outperformed him in catches, yards, and touchdowns pretty substantially, which is concerning and strange. C.J. Mosley with an unbelievable year. 132 tackles, 8 for loss, 4 sacks, and 5 picks. Are you kidding me? Unreal numbers from C.J. Mosley, which that is probably Defensive Player of the Year caliber stuff, right? 2 forced fumbles as well. I mean, I would be surprised if he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year with his numbers. Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. Joe Burrow in there as well as a rookie. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Patrick Mahomes. Le'Veon Bell at 10. Surprised to see no Sam Darnold in there anywhere. Defensive Player of the Year is C.J. Mosley. I mean, he had an unreal year. That might save his regression a little bit as Joe Burrow wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Troy Dye with the Chiefs. We finished in 2nd with Jeff Okudah, and 7th with Julian Okwara, who is up to a 72 overall. Not particularly good, but I mean, it could be a lot worse. We have some Pro Bowl caliber players, and we might even see development upgrades at Super Bowl week. So I think we're in a pretty good spot overall. We just need to continue to improve this team. Offensive line remains a focus, potentially even wide receiver, as the Bengals were in the Super Bowl against the Panthers in year 2. I wanna not be alive anymore, but I guess Joe Burrow is unbelievably talented, and he took the Bengals, who have won 1 game up to this point as I record this, to the Super Bowl in his rookie season. And did he win it? And I know it looks like it's a 23 on the Bengals side, it's 21 on the other. It sometimes flips, but the Bengals won the Super Bowl. Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow are Super Bowl champions when Joe Burrow's a rookie. Now, a rookie has never won the Super Bowl before as a rookie quarterback. There have been rookies who have won the Super Bowl, obviously. But Avery Williamson, he didn't really regress. I mean, a little bit, but his overall remains unchanged. It's just not someone that I can re-sign. The only thing I could do is franchise tag him, which probably wouldn't even be all that expensive. Might be like, what, 12 mil a year? 15-2? That's wild. Marcus May is 28. I mean, there's no way. There's no way I'm signing that. We could franchise tag Avery Williamson if we think we're going to compete. 15 a year is like, that's a really bad contract, but it's also 1 year. I guess it would free us up to trade him if we wanted to. We're still going to have a lot of cap room, so that's not an issue. So even though, is Avery Williamson worth 15? Definitely not. But we were going to pay him 11 on a 2-year deal, so why not pay him 15 on a 1-year deal and add some flexibility for us. Laramie Tunsil is a free agent. I am all in. I am all in on Laramie Tunsil. That would be such an impact player to get. He is 27, but he already is an 88 overall. He's an offensive lineman. We have to make him our #1 priority without question. Okay, so interesting free agent period here. In the first window, we did get Laramie Tunsil. Incredibly big addition to our team. That means we're going to slide Austin Jackson back over to right tackle. And then maybe Chuma Edoga can play guard in the meantime. We don't have Brian Winters anymore. So that is a thing. But Laramie Tunsil is a huge get. We did not get Keanu Neal. Keanu Neal was someone I wanted very much. The other top bidder for Keanu Neal was the New England Patriots. I do not particularly want him to go to the Patriots. I think that would be very bad for us, as we'll, see him twice a year in the same division. Edoga is going to play. We'll move him to left guard. Why not? Or I guess he plays right tackle in the NFL. He played left tackle at USC, I want to say. So he's going to play right guard because he's been on the right side for the Jets this year. And that means John Simpson's going to play left guard for us. And then we're just looking for a center. But at least we know where we are now. At least the offensive line's starting to take shape. The shape of the team is really starting to come together. It's like we started with this little piece of Play-Doh, the green, trashy colored piece of Play-Doh. But it's a little bit better now. And I still want to get rid of Quincy Enunwa. I wish Jamal Adams had a good safety combo partner in maybe, I don't know, Keanu Neal. But unfortunately not, as Keanu Neal took money to sign elsewhere. We're going to find out where that was. And we gave him a good contract. He goes to the Miami Dolphins, so still in the same division. But with Miami, who was somewhat effective, at least in the first half of the season last year. I thought about giving Abucam a contract. Taylor Decker is interesting. Pat Elflein is interesting. No one is particularly appealing to me other than that. We offered Tack McKinley a deal because he's real cheap and would be a good addition. Zach Cunningham would be a good Avery Williamson replacement, but I don't think we're going to opt to do that this year. Cornerback Garyon Conley. Kevin King is superstar development, so that makes that decision pretty easy for me. No one's going after him. Superstar development. Is Kevin King good in real life? No, he really is not. And I'm sorry, Kevin King and Kevin King fans, but you already know that, so I'm not telling you anything new. We're going to offer him 80 points on that. I didn't see the exact number of the contract. It's like, oh, you're talking points and not actual dollars? Well, go back playing video games. It's not real football. Whatever. We got Kevin King and Tack McKinley. The actual dollar count is fairly irrelevant. It's just whether or not we can manage the cap or not, because the contracts, as we know, are not realistic at all, or for the most part. So we're really just working within who has the best development and how many points can we offer them to get them on the team. Kevin King accepts. Huge addition. Tack McKinley also accepts. Now, he, of course, is going to play outside linebacker unless we move to a 4-3, which we have personnel for. That means we would bring Julian Okwara down. Tack McKinley would stay at right end. Quinton Williams moved to the inside. And then Henry Anderson would essentially become irrelevant. But that's fine. He's 30 years old. I want to get rid of his contract anyway. So we'll add him to the trade block, and we'll move to a 4-3. So we're going to extend Sam Darnold. We're going to pick up the 5th-year option on him for sure, because he's a 79 overall. He's improving fairly quickly. He had a very good year last year. And quarterback contracts are really expensive. And we want to get another year into this thing before we really have to worry about that. We're going into the draft now, and I have not seen the draft class, of course, in year 2. I've been using a randomly generated draft class. It's just because I think it's a little bit more fun, and it's really tough to know where we are, with prospects, a year out, a year plus out. So, #1 player is a receiver. Oh, this cornerback looks nuts. Okay, interesting. We're gonna make some decisions, and then we're gonna navigate, move around the board as we need to. He's only 5'9", but he looks really good. Yeah, Jamal Daniels here. I guess it's a family name. Looks pretty good, but I don't know that we take him. For number 6 overall, and that cornerback is still available. Definitely a player I would consider moving up for. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, do we have the draft capital to move up this much? Maybe there's a second-round player that I would like to get. I don't think this is a super strong draft class. But I think this cornerback is worth moving up for, especially because our cornerbacks are still not good. But I think adding this one to our team would certainly change that, because we'd have Jeff Okudah, and we'd have this mystery cornerback Sheffield, who's only 5'9", but his ability, I would say, kind of speaks for itself. Now, if I could trade up with maybe like a first next year and a 2, I think we'd be in business. So we're working on getting there. Maybe if we added like Henry Anderson, that would get it done, because, or even Julian Okwara, no interest in him. I mean, I'm okay with giving up my first rounder next year, because we can always move back up in the draft if we need to. A third this year, I think, probably gets this done. It doesn't. All right, we're going to move kind of a lot here. We're moving a 1 next year, a 2 next year, and a 2 this year to move up to number 6. Now, you may be wondering, why didn't I just trade my first rounder this year? Why am I holding on to number 6 and 16? Well, there's a player that I'd like to get, and I think I'm going to trade down from 16, pick up some of our lost draft capital, saying as I'm nearly choking to death. That's a bit of an overreaction. But Denzel Sheffield out of Clemson, welcome to the team. He looks sick, and he is the number 2 player in the class. Higher overall than I expected, but he is 77 overall. Star or better development. Now, I've been getting like messages again and comments and DMs that, oh, you know what it is. If their arms crossed, it's because they're star. If their arms up in the air, it's superstar. If it's 2 arms, it's superstar X Factor. That was true at the beginning of the year. They changed it. They patched that. That is not true anymore. I appreciate you trying to help me out. But as far as I know, that has been completely patched and is no longer a method to tell what development trait they have. I can assure you. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. God, I'm so stupid. Oh. You don't understand how frustrating that is. You have no idea. I meant to hit B. I had my phone in my hand, which why do I have that in my hand when I'm doing a rebuild video? Oh my lord. And I meant to hit circle with my left hand across my controller, and I hit square, and I drafted a fucking random tight end at number 16 overall, who's a 63 overall. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, dude. Oh, you're such an idiot. Shut up. I already know. You think I don't know that I'm stupid? Look what just happened. Not only did I not trade down, I also am not going to land the player that I wanted to trade down and get. I lost everything for Tracy Sanders. I'm going to be sick. I'm so upset that that just happened. I really am. And I know it's really not that big of a deal. But it is a big deal. I mean, we can take good players, but like when we miss out on studs and we lose so much like potential draft capital, and now I'm paying so much money because I took someone at number 16 overall to be a 63 overall tight end. I don't even remember how it happened. I pretty much blacked out and I drafted the player. I don't know where we were that happened, but oh my god, I wish I could take that back so badly. Big mistake. I spent a first round pick in the first half of the draft, no less, number 16 overall, on a 63 overall tight end. If there's anything I can take away from it, he has star development or better. Whoopee, that's great. I'm so excited. It's like Dean Rutland, who won't be good. Oh, he has star development or better. Weird. What is up with these shit players with hidden development? I'm done with the draft. I can't even be here anymore. I need to move on. So what I was probably going to do is trade down and take a second round guard that I think is going to be pretty good, or a tackle. Now, if either of them are at the top of the draft, I'm going to be upset. Here was one guy. I would have traded down probably past this, so I wouldn't have gotten him. But Samuel Costello was number 1 player in the draft, normal dev. Now, the guard was probably Richard Ross, I want to say. He went earlier than I expected. So I might have missed out on them anyway. But that still sucks that I'm stuck with this random tight end. Like, what do I even do with him? I fullback, I guess? I don't know. I should honestly cut him. Because there's no reason to play him. Retland's going to play left guard, I guess. Hopefully he is good. Am I dwelling on this? Probably. I kind of forgot I got Kevin King when I drafted that cornerback. Now, Kevin King is 6'3", 200 pounds. He's going to play free safety. So that solves that. And that's a good fit for us anyway. I totally forgot about Kevin King. Weird draft for me. I'm not going to lie to you. Weird draft. But Kevin King's a decent free safety. Now, Jamal Adams should move over to strong safety. Don't be weird. It's your main position. Why is... I hate this game sometimes. I really do. But our defensive line, we're going to roll with Henry Anderson still. We didn't get any trade offers for him, so whatever. And other than that, definitely subscribe if you're new for more draft mishaps. That was an absolute blast. Who's having fun right now? Everybody. Wow. I don't want to die, right? Wrong. All right, midseason mark. We are 3-4. Not exactly doing so hot, but we're winning the division. What is happening? The Colts are 7-0. Jamal Adams is an impending free agent. Definitely want to make sure to re-sign him to a long-term deal. Avery Williamson as well. I don't know. Jamison Crowder, no. Christopher Herndon, sure. Nathan Shepard, maybe. Jamal Adams for sure. These other guys I can make a decision on later. Jamal Adams wants a lot of money. Most of it guaranteed in that signing bonus, but he re-signs, I guess, so that's a positive. Avery Williamson's going to be expensive. I don't want to pay him $12 a year over 3. I just don't want to. He's 29. It would be a mistake. It really would be. So, not quite going to do that. Okay, so Denzel Sheffield has at least superstar development, which is very awesome. We made the playoffs. We got a wild card spot, which is interesting enough. I do want to check out what his development trade is, just because that's fun for me. Those subtle enjoyment. We still don't know Sanders because he's a fullback and didn't play all that much, I guess. Darnold's up to an 84 overall, and he is superstar development, 83 overall. Not too bad for a rookie or anyone, even like a third-year player. I would take that. But we'll go ahead and check out the stats and see how this team did. We won the division. 11th best offense in terms of yards. We had the bottom dead last defense in terms of yards. Top 10 in points scored. And for points allowed, we were 24th. So the defense was not good at all this year. Sam Darnold had a very, very solid year. Le'Veon Bell, unreal. That's going to get probably MVP consideration with 19 touchdowns. Jamison Crowder had a great year. We're not going to re-sign him, though. So all that for nothing. Amari Cooper continues not to be able to find the end zone, despite being our number 1 and the best receiver on the team. CJ Mosley with probably another Defensive Player of the Year campaign. Tack McKinley with 10.5 sacks, led the team. Interceptions, Denzel Sheffield, the rookie, had 3. Now, is CJ Mosley going to win Defensive Player of the Year? If I said rookie, that's my mistake. Obviously, I don't know that he will this year. Probably not, but I think he's going to be close. As Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback of the New York Giants. Mitchell Trubisky's on the Patriots. Oh my goodness. Where else is something weird? That's pretty much it. Sam Darnold's top 10 for MVP. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Deshaun Watson. Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell back-to-back at 6 and 7. Defensive Player of the Year, it's CJ Mosley in back-to-back years, really. That surprises me, but another great year. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Ricky Hammond. We had Tracy Sanders, the fullback, who didn't play at number 6. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Denzel Sheffield. Okay. We're out here winning some awards, man. That's why these players are developing and becoming so good so quickly. Because they are out here winning awards, and I love to see it. We'll use some Coach XP here. Quarterback training boost, I think, is going to be the way to go, just to make Sam Darnold all that he can be. And he's becoming a very, very good player. I guess we'll go ahead and just simulate, see if we can beat the Jaguars in the playoffs here, advance to the divisional. And that's exactly what we do, winning by 6 points. And now we have the Colts, 14-2. I assume we already lost to them once this season. based on our matchup at the midseason mark. They're only an 84 overall, but they have Quentin Nelson, T.Y. Hilton, Darius Leonard, all very, very good players. Jacoby Brissett at QB. And we'll advance to the conference championship, and we beat them by 2 touchdowns. Oh my goodness, it's probably time to jump into Super Sim here, as we have a legitimate shot at a Super Bowl. Now, are we going to be able to beat the Browns and continue our tremendous playoff streak here? 2 wins already against the 84 overall Browns, who are a joke in simulation. It's unlikely, but it's worth finding out. So let's go ahead and hop in and see what we can do. A decently close game so far. We're actually ahead going into the half, 21-10 now in the second half. The Browns, I mean, could come back at any moment, though. We just got to continue to play good offense or stall for time or something. Please score. 24-16. The Browns answer with a touchdown. Travis Etienne gets into the end zone. We have 35 seconds to try and win on all Madden simulation. I would say that the odds are next to none, but we're going to do our best. We got Samaje Perine. Not exactly who I want to be out here. Unless this is LaMichael, which I find highly doubtful. Is Samaje Perine on the Jets now? He's on the Bengals in real life, but do we have LaMichael Perine or Samaje? I don't know. We have LaMichael Perine. All right, my bad. We don't have Samaje. That's okay. LaMichael Perine's returning kicks for us. And, I don't know. Let's see if we can get in the end zone somehow. I'd like a wheel, because I know a wheel can get really open. All right. Myles Garrett is causing me some problems, but we lobbed it over perfectly to Amari Cooper, who's going down the sideline. Huge play on 3rd and 22. Beautiful pass, right where it needed to be. That was very nice. Touch pass, Amari Cooper, touchdown. The game is over. Oh, the nerves. That was a nerve-wracking game, because it's always so embarrassing when I lose. No matter how difficult it is for me, always want to win. We're headed to the Super Bowl. Hopefully have to play a lot less. Oh my goodness, the Super Bowl is Giants-Jets. I'm a Giants fan, but I don't want the Giants to win this one. I really don't. I would prefer that the Jets win it, at least in rebuild land, and only in rebuild land. I could care less about that, but in real life, obviously, I'd like the Giants to win. That goes without saying. But Jamison Crowder has been upgraded to superstar development. That is really interesting for his contract. And he has jukebox too, which is a really cool ability to get. I don't know. Avery Williamson also has superstar development. Yeah, make this decision as tough as possible, please. Good God. Okay. I still think we gotta let him go, maybe. Oh man, that is a really tough decision. But Super Bowl in Dallas. I'm sure those Dallas fans definitely want the Giants to lose, but we're going up against Saquon and Tua. What a weird thing. All right, Giants Jets Super Bowl. Let's get it done. Okay, very close Super Bowl here at AT&T. It is 17-17. This would be such a fun matchup. Giants go ahead a little bit. Let's see if we can answer. No, wait, we're going to lose here. It is way too little too late. The Giants win 36-24 as Tua dotted us up for 3 touchdowns. Not ideal. All right, let's see what regression looks like. Williamson down to an 84. Crowder's down to an 83. Chris Herndon, I do want to extend. Like he's not super expensive, especially if we take this down. I think he'll probably accept. But like, even though Jamison Crowder and Avery Williamson both have superstar development, it's tough, man, because they're gonna regress. Avery Williamson was like what, an 89? He got up to, and now he's an 84. Like, there's no point to extend him. There just isn't. Same thing with Jamison Crowder. As tough as it is that they have superstar development now, we have to move on. J.J. Watt is here. Leighton Vander Esch as well. Von Miller, Jason Kelsey, Michael Gallup could be an interesting addition for us. Just take every Cowboy receiver. He's going to be a little expensive. Don't need safety. Don't need cornerback. Avery Williamson. Oh, we could use him. I don't know. I don't know what else. Like, too expensive. Not going to sign anyone in free agency. I don't like the class, so I'm not going to I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just not. All right, so we don't have a first or a second. Oh, what a disaster that was, man. That was the absolute worst thing that could have happened. But hey, at least I have a fullback, right? Because who wouldn't spend a first-round pick on a fullback? As a guard goes #1 overall. What is life? All right, so this draft class is really bad for anything I need, which is unfortunate to say the least. That's the worst. But I guess it makes it a little bit better that we don't have any picks. We're going to take an outside linebacker. Alex O'Whirl out of Nevada. 6'2", 232, only 21 years old. Good ability. Should be a good pick for the spot. Number 58 in the class. We took him at 95. Only normal development. Probably just going to end up trading down at this point. There's not really much for me here. Okay, so we are here in season number 3. The team's improved a little bit, but we obviously had to make some tough decisions to let people go. I think those are going to be unpopular decisions, but I think we had to make them. Still have CJ Mosley. We just have some notable holes on our team. We really do. So it's unfortunate, but I didn't anticipate free agency being as empty as it was, and I did not anticipate the draft being as terrible as it was. So as much as I hate to say it, I feel like this season's almost kind of a wash, where we're just going to re-sign players and play for the next one. This is going to be such a quick season, regardless of success, pretty much. Yeah, we're 2-4-1. Not good. But Le'Veon Bell's here. Sam Darnold's here. Blake Cashman is probably someone I'd like to re-sign. We're going to let Quincy Enunwa go. That's going to free up some money, too. Bell is 30, but he's also a 92 overall, so I have no problem extending him. Welcome back, Le'Veon Bell. All right, Sam Darnold's back. That's the big one. 24, 25 per year for him. Blake Cashman matters like less. He wants more money than I want to give him, but let's see if he takes more years and a lower amount. That's almost 21. He wants more money, but he's Blake Cashman, so I don't know if that's going to happen. We're going to simulate to the playoffs. We're not going to make it, and we're going to figure it out next year. So we finished at 6-9-1. Nice. Offense was top 10 somehow, despite not being very good. I imagine the defense was really bad, 17th in terms of yards. I don't really know what to tell you about that. Sam Darnold had a decent year. Touchdowns is a little lower than I'd like. Le'Veon Bell was quite good. Receiving, Quincy Enunwa was good. Amari Cooper finally had 10 touchdowns. And then defensively, CJ Mosley with another great year, but no interceptions. We only had 2 for 2 players. 4 total interceptions. What is going on? Julian Okwara had 10.5 sacks. But this was not a good defense at all. I'd be shocked to see us win anything or even be in the conversation, no less. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Joe Burrow. Sam Darnold at 10. Defense Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. Yeah, no Jets. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Matt Smart. No Jets. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jimmy Britt. We have Corey Holman and Alex O'Whirl at 2 and 3, and they definitely did not play. All right, do we bring back Blake Cashman? That's the question. 79 overall. He's up to star development. I can give him a higher salary. So Blake Cashman should be returning on this, a 4-year deal worth just over 23, and he is back. Star development makes that worthwhile, and it seems silly that it's only one development change up that would make that worthwhile, but I think it was. Now, hopefully, free agency is quite good. We should have a lot of money to spend, 36 mil, so that could be 2 really impactful free agents. Now, we need a center, but I would opt for Eric McCoy rather than Rodney Hudson due to the age, even if he's going to be more expensive. He definitely is expensive, I'll tell you that much. I mean, free agency is once again so terrible. There's nobody here. Let people go to free agency so I can have them. There's nobody here worth having at all. That is so bad. At linebacker, I mean, there's nothing. There's not really much in the way of defensive lineman at all. Julian Okwara got star development, which is pretty good. Maybe we bring back Chuma Edoga, but he's getting offers. Jeez, dude. I mean, these free agent classes are really bringing me down. Like, what can you say, man? This has been such a weird, realistic rebuild. I don't know. I haven't really enjoyed this one as much as a lot of the other ones I've had. We got Eric McCoy at least, so that improves the offense and the offensive line, obviously. That left side's great. We need a right guard. John Simpson could play right guard. Maybe we don't need a right guard then. John Simpson's just going to move over there. And then the offensive line really isn't even that bad. That's a pretty good combination at left and right guard. I mean, really, the entire offensive line is pretty good. So we're in a good position there. We need a big receiver outside of Amari Cooper. Lord knows KJ Hamler's not getting it done, so maybe a rookie receiver could be a good move. And then defensively, our linebacking core isn't terrible. We need a defensive tackle. And our secondary is pretty good. We could use a third cornerback. But, okay, this team's actually a lot better than I thought it was. We really are not that far. I thought we were a lot further. But no. All right, so we pick at number 10. Wouldn't be opposed to a trade-up, but we got to see what's there. Kirkland Bacon. It's a Costco brand shit, huh? All right, trading number 10, a 2 next year, and a 3 this year to move up to number 6. I think it's worth it to get the player that I'd like. And it's annoying that it took so much, but again, I think it's going to be worth it. As we're going to take Jared Morgan out of Michigan. Really good ability here. He's a speed rusher type, but I think we can move him all around. Got good top skills. Do we need a defensive tackle more? Probably. He's number 8 in the class. We took him at number 6. He does have star or better development. 84 speed, 80 finesse moves. Decent strength, good tackle. Block shed's a bit low. But he's definitely a good addition to our team. It's just figuring out where to play him. Sometimes you got to go best player available and then figure it out, which is fine. A 77 overall guard just went. That is wild. His last name's Blonde, but he's bald as can be. Well, we might as well take a backup quarterback. We'll go Todd Carter. 74 overall, normal development. Number 19 in the class. We took him at like 40-something. Wasn't a top need for us at all, but again, we're operating on a best player available. If he was going to be a top player in the class with, star better development, he could have been a trade piece for us. Seeing that happen with guys like Jimmy Garoppolo in the draft, or before, they took him in the second round, the Patriots did, and then moved him to the 49ers. And I guess we'll trade here with the Baltimore Ravens. We're in an interesting spot. We're going to simulate to the end of the draft. There aren't many good players here. That's the problem. Like it's easy enough to do a rebuild when there are great players to draft and really good free agents, but when there's none of that, it's tough to just stay with only developing what you have. It really is. Okay, so week 1, we got a new ability on Jeff Okudah. We're an 82 overall. This is far from the best team I've ever built, but we do have some good players. Our offensive line is good. I think for the most part, our offense is good. We could use another good receiver, as I mentioned. And then defensively, how are we going to... I mean, like, Aquara is going to move inside, which isn't a great fit. I mean, Tack McKinley would be better off almost at 265. We really... we're in a weird position. We really are. Based on personnel, we needed a defensive tackle, and I did not take one. Because I didn't like the defensive tackles opposed to the actual rush ends that were there. It was a bad draft class. I'm going to take Tack McKinley, and I'm going to play him on the inside. Now, this is a really pass rush-focused defensive line now, so hopefully we get to the quarterback. Tack McKinley, not exactly a great defensive line player, or defensive tackle, I should say, as he is a little bit light for the position. But, like Aaron Donald's 280 and is... the best defensive tackle in football. Tack McKinley at maybe almost 270 can make it work, we'll say. I don't know. That's obviously not very realistic. But we got to do what we can to make this team work. Because right now, it's not great. I need a receiver. How do we get one? Can there be one in free agency like McCole Hardman or somebody good like that age? There's not. Take Courtney Davis, Stephen Guidry. We do not have a lot of good options. I guess we'll sign Courtney Davis. We are 4-3 at the midseason mark. Quinnen Williams is an expiring contract for us, as is CJ Mosley, Austin Jackson, Julian Okwara. How much money are we going to have? We're going to have a decent bit. I mean, we need to re-sign Quinnen Williams, obviously. That's a priority. Now, CJ Mosley is less of a thing that I'm... I mean, he's not that bad of an overall. He's not that expensive. But he is still kind of expensive. And I'm playing basically for an 80. I would sign him to a 2-year deal. I wouldn't really give him much more money than that. He re-signs for 2 years. Okay. Julian Okwara is too expensive. Why are you so much? he's someone I guess I'm probably going to let walk then, and we just need to look for a defensive tackle still in free agency. I don't know what to do, man. Like, our team is in such a weird spot. That's the only thing I can say. Okay, playoffs. We did not make them. Not entirely shocked. Finished 7-9. It's a really tough AFC East, it looks like. Our team's improving a little bit, but I want to bring in some really good players to really make a God squad. And even though we haven't exactly been, like, really bad, like, Sam Darnold, what are these numbers? We don't even have, like, a God squad. Like, Olamide Zacchaeus, you can't be our best receiver, statistically. CJ Mosley with another great season. The defense really is not working out for us. I don't really know what the issue is. Usually, the Bengals' defensive playbook is quite amazing. And not the case here today. Looking for Jets Defensive Player of the Year. CJ Mosley at 6, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'm going way too fast, but Caldwell at 5, whoever that is. And then Jared Morgan at number 2. Dude, this is just such a weird... This is one of the weirdest rebuild videos I've done. I would... If you don't like this, and you think you might like it, that's an odd thing to say, but I would go check out another rebuild on the channel and see what you think. This has been a strange one. I'm not signing Julian Okwara. Austin Jackson, I do want to bring back. He just wants a bigger salary, which I am more than happy to give him, as he is a very good starter at right tackle for us, so we're going to bring him back. KJ Hamler is probably someone I should bring back as well, just because of how cheap he is, so we'll extend him 5 years. He returns. I need to sign a stud receiver. That's the position we need to improve upon the most. We don't really have money, so John Simpson's going to walk, and I'll draft a right guard, I guess. Sorry, Tracy Sanders. I want to cut you so bad. Like, why do we have him, dude? It's so annoying. His cap hit is annoying, and he's a fullback. We have 15 mil in free agency. That's one really good free agent, maybe. Kendall Fuller's here. Would have been nice to get him the first year, as is Stephon Gilmore. I don't need any of these positions. Jonathan Allen. That's a player I need. There we go. Finally somebody. All right, we got Jonathan Allen. So there's our defensive tackle problem solved. We have our edge rushers, Takk McKinley. What is his name? Gerard Allen? Or Jared Morgan. I know Jared Allen is a former pass rusher in the NFL for the Vikings, Chiefs as well. But Takk McKinley can move back to right end. We can slide Jonathan Allen inside. Perfect. It's all working itself out in a weird way, but it is. NFL draft. This is going to be the last one. This is going to be our last season. It's just been such a weird video, dude. I don't even know how to react, really. I'd love for there to be a really good receiver in this class. It looks like Kareem Woodward might be our best bet, and he doesn't even look like he's anything crazy, unfortunately. So that sucks. It's another draft that's bad for what I need. Like, it seems like it's been every single one so far. We'll do what we can, but I mean, there's just not much here for me, unfortunately. I'm gonna take Lakeem Price because I think he's the best player in the class. 6 foot, 210 pounds. Really, really good size. Can start at free safety. We'll move Kevin King back to cornerback. Have 3 really good ones. He's number 6 in the class. At 77 overall, that's a pretty strong top of the draft, huh? Star, better development. 95 speed, good hit power. Zone coverage is okay. Block shedding is a little bit low. But again, he was the best player in the class, like, for my needs. And I don't even really need that position that badly. It's just these draft classes have all been kind of bad for me. These free agent classes have been terrible. I know I'm complaining about it, but like it's just strange. It's unfamiliar. I don't really know how to react. Take Corey Hawkins though here in the 3rd round, 5th round guy, but 48 overall in the class. 76 is when we took him. He's got a hidden development. So you know what? Maybe that's superstar. It isn't, but maybe. So there are some decent players in this class, like really, really were. Halfbacks are always really high overall, but Kadeem Ford, defensive tackle, it looks to be really, really good. And Quentin Cheek, a cornerback at a Temple, 6'1", 180, 95 speed, 80 man coverage. Not too shabby, but just, you know, I'm comfortable with what we took. I really am. Okay, so we moved Kevin King back to corner. Price is going to play free safety. I think our defense is decent. CJ Mosley's a 79 now, which is not good. We're going to make a trade. Now, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I need to land a receiver. I really, really do. So we're going to trade whatever we can. Maybe it's Kevin King, because he's going to have some value. We need to trade something to land a receiver so badly. All right, so I was trying to make a trade for CeeDee Lamb, and it did not go through. But what if I bought Master Trade Negotiator to slightly boost the stock of my trades? I don't really know how it works. I don't know if it increases interest like that, or if it just works as if they had if they had minor interest in somebody else, it would go major. But I think CeeDee Lamb would be a really, really fun guy to land. Now, I was going to trade Kevin King, a first-round pick, and the backup quarterback we took, Todd Carter. Now, how much does this do? It looks like it's the same. I don't really know what Master Trade Negotiator does fully. But I guess if a first-round pick makes this go through, it will do something? Nah, it's like the exact same. I still don't really know what it does. All right, finally we got something done. Kevin King, backup quarterback Carter, and a first-round pick for D.D. Westbrook. That's what we managed to do. It's in week 3 because I wanted these players to develop a little bit. We finally got a decent receiver next to Amari Cooper. What is that going to change? I mean, we'll find out, I guess. D.D. Westbrook is Superstar X Factor. What is going on? This has just been the strangest rebuild I feel like I've done all year. It's just been so weird. And like I haven't even been like excited for it. I feel like this is like one of the worst videos that I've done. Like there's some funny parts and like taking the player accidentally, but I don't know. My main goal is just to build a stud team every time, and this just was not that. But mistakes happen, I guess. 4-3 at the midseason mark. We're not going to worry about re-signing players because, of course, this is the final season. Whatever happens, happens. So much for a rebuild, right? This was bad, but we're going to simulate to the playoffs. We're not going to make it, and then we're going to call it a video. How fun does that sound? I told you. Finished 7-9, and the Bills are the Huskies now. I don't know, man. I mean, you tell me what went wrong, and by that I mean that's rhetorical. Don't, because I'm gonna be annoyed looking at it. This is the final team, in case you cared. It wasn't one of the best teams in the league, really, but it was okay. Regression hit hard per usual. But we did have a great cornerback pairing in Jeff Okudah and Denzel Sheffield. Not to be confused with Kendall Sheffield, who also went to Ohio State, just like Jeff Okudah. But that is going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed my pain and suffering and misery. And I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.